Hi, this is Carolyn James from Holistic Campus, and today we're talking with one of our practitioners, Laurian Claus. And Laurian is a sound and light code practitioner. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I love your smile.
Oh, so happy to be here.
So this is so fascinating. You and I talked about it a little bit before, but can you explain to everybody what exactly it is that you do?
Yes. I come from 30 years of a banking background and always had a love for the holistic field and healing and learning more about the body. And so I've really always attended workshops, got certifications, keep leading me closer and closer to what my passion has been, which is always the emotional aspect of healing. So fast forward a couple of years ago, I began working with a shaman, and he began to open my throat chakra and let me know I'd be expressing myself in a very different way. Unbeknownst to me, the things that started coming from my vocal cords as someone that can't sing never was part of a gift for me. I started these toning, pierced sounds coming from my vocal cords that were not mine. And I just had to get out of my own way and just let it come forward. And then not long after, got off this shaman's table. The next day, these things started coming out of my voice. Then shortly after that, I started speaking what is known as the language of light, or light language, or star language too, is other ways people describe it. And so basically, it has just taken a life of its own. And I started using it daily in my own journeying through my own dark night of the soul. And it really brought me back into connection to who I was. And so it started unfolding the potential of finding out who we are back from our original blueprint of our divine essence in a way. And it just started transforming. So it led me to get a certification as a sound practitioner and really studying sound and what it really is doing in the body. And it has just been something I love sharing. We all love sound, music. When we go to concerts and people put music on, we're not in the ego anymore, right? We're just really in a creative state, just really flowing and enjoying it. And, you'll notice your body stays in that way of just in alignment and happy beyond leaving the concert or beyond that event. So cellularly, things are going on in our body with sound that even if we stop to really recognize its impact and its potential for healing on multiple levels, we've really unlocked the key to so many things. And it's so simple. It's in our everyday life. So I just began having awareness and understanding as all of creation is a template of light, sound, and geometric patterns. And so as I began to really work with that, I come to understand we all have a resonant frequency within each of us. Each of our cells, our tissues, our organs vibrate at this frequency. And so when our body is starting to be recognizing a symptom, for example, a diseased organ has forgotten its song. It's just totally, lost the harmony. And when brought back into alignment and harmony, it can sing again as it remembers the lyrics. So it's really, if you think about it, creation at the time of our own creation, the beginning of time, this was all with us. This was all the way that we vibrated and did life. And, as we go through life and our core beliefs and experiences, sometimes we get into limitation and we get into these spaces where we no longer recognize ourselves in our gifts and in the divine essence of who we are. So what I have come to understand is toning and light language is the vibration that becomes the waveform carrying that information into the body. And it really, because we're mostly comprised of water, it really takes that information and bathes our cells with that vibration. So in a way, it's really, vibration and light are very effective at getting past the cell wall. So it doesn't have to get, the information doesn't have to go through the brain to be dismembered, deciphered, and then distributed into the body. It goes straight to the cells.
Sound. Oh, that's so interesting.
Yes, because our cells, our DNA is light and information. So when you're speaking sound through it, it's penetrating through those cell walls and it's vibrating in a frequency that's trying to return you back to your own resonant frequency. So go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So people, this practice is for healing and alignment, yes?
Correct. Right. So what happens is, because sound continues, after we no longer hear it, right? And someone doesn't really even have to believe in it for it to be effective because of the way it's entered into our field. And the other beautiful component is when we really bring intention, the power of intention into a session, then healing does occur. An American sound healer, Jonathan Goldman, created a formula that sound plus intention equals healing. So it really, it happens. So it's what the best way I can describe it is in a session, my soul connects to your soul, and then I get out of my own way and this symphony begins. And your soul, my soul knows what your soul needs. There's just this connection that happens. And it's such a beautiful thing because I get the blessing too. As I'm able to work with someone and help them return back to their own resonant frequency and really remembering the love that we are. The healing and transformation is, on and on. And it's, it's a subtle thing. It's nothing that you walk away and go, okay, this is it. It's a process, and it's, time evolves and, it's just a beautiful gift to be able to share. And I love educating people. And I think we can change the world one person at a time.
I think we all believe that, don't we? That's why we're all here.
Right.
So when someone comes to you for a session or wants to learn more about this, typically why are they coming? Is there a reason, or do they know, or are they just drawn to it?
Yeah, basically, anybody that is feeling curious, maybe, I'm not understanding what's going on in my body. Things are no longer serving them, old beliefs and patterns don't really resonate anymore. And so it's people that want some answers about what's going on, how can you assist me? And it's really educating. It's an education piece to bring people back into awareness that it's really never lost. We just, the way we vibrate and the way that we are resonating is no longer in alignment. So somebody that's, going through a dark night of the soul, going through depression, isolation, spiritual awakening, trying to make sense of what's going on in the world around them. Because as we grow and as we have awakenings, things that we've created in old timelines no longer serve us, but we're still surrounded by people, our jobs, socially events that are part of our life that are deconstructing around us. Mm-hmm. So, I find people that need support and understand what is happening to me, ascension symptoms, those kinds of things.
So when you say the dark night of the soul, explain that so people that aren't sure what that is understand.
Okay, so a dark night of the soul is really collapsing old paradigms, old belief systems, the way we operated in life, all of a sudden doesn't serve us anymore. We find ourselves questioning everything, things we learned, things we were taught. The soul just wants to come back into its original divine essence. So anything that is not in alignment with that is trying to return back to us. And so it's collapsing timelines. And it's a very, very difficult time for people. And as we know, our cells hold these imprints and memories. So as these timelines around us collapse, the memories and cellularly, our body physically has to purge that. And so, we're getting symptoms that we're not used to. We might be crying all the time, lots of grief, just lots of everything collapsing. And there's not really a handbook for that. And there's not really a way that people can, and most people, as well-intended as they are, our friends, our family that are watching us go through this, just want to bring us back to that old person. Yeah. And that just brings us further away from reconnecting to ourselves and further confusion. So it could be midlife crisis for people. It could be, does that kind of help to answer?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I know you and I are going to do a session in a little bit, and I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Is there anything else you wanted to share before we do that?
No, one other thing is I always tell people, take what resonates, trust your intuition, and if something doesn't resonate, discord it with love and grace, because we're all here. Some things you may not be at that place to really hear it. So I ask people to honor that. And really, it's about reconnecting to ourselves. So just to really honor what resonates and what doesn't.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see you in a minute. Thank you, Laurian.
Great. Thank you.